Hello, welcome to my channel. My name is Tara. I am a meditation teacher and an interdisciplinary artist, and I am taking this video outside today. It's a little breezy up here on this deck, but it's really lovely. And this is my last meditation tip video for the series I've been doing all summer. And for this one, I'm going to answer questions that some people have asked me and that are pretty common questions I get asked a lot in classes and in my private sessions. So thank you so much for being here. Also, I'm taking this time to drink some tea, and this is my friend Crystal's mug that she made of earth ceramics. So if you want to grab yourself a cup of tea and come back and join me, we can continue the video together. So I'll first answer a question that someone specifically asked me recently. Her name's Alphine. Shout out Alphine. She asked, what are the biggest benefits from a regular meditation practice that you've experienced? This is a great question. I have experienced personally a lot of big shifts in my life. I have an interesting background in that I grew up meditating. I've been meditating since I was a little kid. It's one of my first memories, actually, sitting on my mom's lap in a meditation shrine room. We used to see Tibetan teachers often, so I would go with my parents to see them speak, and my parents also ran a meditation group and center where we grew up, so I was really active there. And one of the reasons I love this question so much is that I have had to refine meditation throughout my whole life, whether it was in middle school or high school, college, or in my 20s and into my 30s. There have been points in my life where I've had to really find myself in a disciplined practice again. And I noticed a really big shift about this point 7 years ago when I was struggling a lot coming out of a relationship and feeling a lot of emotional pressure and a lot of confusion. And I decided to see what would happen if I meditated every morning. I just wanted to see what it would be like if I sat for, I think it was 30 days in a row. And I did notice a significant shift in my patience towards myself, towards others. I tend to notice times as well when I am meditating less frequently that I'm not as grounded. So when I notice these times, I just make it, I make a point to really practice every day and find a consistent rhythm for at least 3 days. And usually things shift for me, even in those 3 days. And then I continue that regular practice. But I would say the biggest benefits are more patience, more understanding, more love, and being able to recognize discomfort more and to be more aware of myself. Let's go to some other questions now. How long should I practice meditation? This is one I always get asked in classes, especially for more newer practitioners who are just learning. And I always recommend start with 3 to 5 minutes. If you can do 3 to 5 minutes a day, that's great. If you take the next 3 days to practice 3 to 5 minutes every morning, that's fantastic. It's generally a good starting point, and then building it on from there. Try going up to 7 to 10 minutes. You go 10 to 15 minutes. You could try meditating consistently for 5 minutes a day and then maybe once a week for 15 or 20 minutes. It's really up to you and what you feel is right for yourself, but you won't know until you try. So it could set yourself up for a week long journey of varying times throughout the day. And it's so windy. So you could set yourself up for a week and just say, okay, Monday I'm going to try practicing for 5 minutes in the morning. Tuesday I'll try practicing another 5 minutes, maybe a little later in the day. Set a timer, set an alarm, so on and so forth. When should I practice? This is also kind of loops back to what I was just saying. When, what time of day? That's another thing that you really have to experiment for yourself. This really depends on the practitioner. I love practicing first thing in the morning when I wake up, make my coffee or tea, and while that's cooling down, I meditate for 5 minutes, maybe a little bit longer, depending. I love taking breaks throughout the day to meditate, and I tend to do more sleep focused meditation at night. Meditation that induces more relaxation and um, okay. I have another question about alignment. So, do I have to sit up every time and meditate? And the answer is not necessarily. When you sit up straight, you're inviting a natural sense of wakefulness, and energetically, you're letting your systems be in alignment. So, you are just naturally creating this really great posture for yourself to sit up. However, I recommend really figuring out what the best posture for you to sit up is. A lot of people, especially new practitioners, they get tired and maybe even turned off by sitting upright because they're not sitting right. So, one, make sure that you are elevated from the floor enough that your hips are above your knees. So, your hips should not be above your knees while you meditate. This will strain your low back. So, make sure that you have enough cushioning underneath your bum when you sit upright. You can also make sure that you have cushioning underneath your ankles and your knees as well for sitting cross-legged or on your shins, so you're not sitting on a hard floor. And check in with your alignment. Make sure that your spine is straight. It doesn't have to be stiff, but it should be straight. Your shoulders over your hips and your skull slightly pressing back in space. If you find that this is uncomfortable, of course, laying down is fine as long as your spine is straight. You're laying on the ground with a flat back, maybe some bolster, maybe a bolster or a rolled up blanket underneath your knees to once again take pressure off your low back. And be cautious of knowing that laying down might make you feel more tired, whereas sitting up can maybe help you find more wakefulness in your practice. I get really tired when I practice meditation. Is that okay? I yawn a lot. I mean, it's fine if you get tired. I think that you might just need to catch up more on sleep in your natural cycle, or just note that you're maybe more aware of that you're not getting enough sleep at night, but it's nothing alarming to get sleepy during meditation. It can feel very relaxing to meditate, and this could induce yawns and sleepy like feelings. If you do feel like you're getting tired consistently, maybe try shortening your practice and defining your goals and intentions with your practice. So, how do you want to feel after you practice meditation? More awake, or do you want to feel more tired? Someone asked, it's hard for me to focus on the breath. Can I focus on something else when I meditate? Yes, you can focus on the body part, like your feet or your hands. I understand that focusing on the breath can feel uncomfortable for some people, especially if you've had any trauma like experiences. I tend to teach styles that focus on the breath more because that's what I grew up learning mostly. My main practice was shamatha vipassana meditation, which focuses on the breath as an anchor for coming back to the present moment. Mm. And I found this to be the easiest for me, meditation wise, because the breath is always with you and it feels closest to the brain center. So it feels like it's right here. But there are certainly other ways to meditate. You can focus on the ground beneath you, the support, the feeling of the earth. You can focus on the feeling of the sky. You can direct your focus to a mantra or an affirmation that you say over and over again. You can do contemplation meditation where you might focus on a phrase of loving kindness or gratitude. So there are many different ways to meditate that don't focus on the breath. So that's it for the questions. My personal advice for meditating, which I pretty much covered in this video, but try it out. Find if you're just starting and want to find a consistent practice, you can try for 3 days in a row, practicing at a certain time for a certain length and see how it goes. And then maybe try the next 3 days, another time, another length. And also find what your intention is for meditating. This is really important. It's good to have a goal. It's good to have a motivation. You can write that down somewhere. How do you want to feel? What do you want to achieve? And that'll really help to develop a consistent practice as well. And you can always ask me any questions in the comments, or I take one-on-one sessions as well if you need just a little extra help, a little extra support, or you can find me in one of my virtual classes that I offer online as well. Everything is in the description below. And like I said, comments, let me know how this worked for you. Thank you so much. Have a beautiful rest of your day. My name is Tara. Make sure to like this video and subscribe to my channel if you're new.